Hey beauties, it's Krystal from Nova King Beauty and welcome back to my channel.
Closer, closer, closer. Get a little closer, closer from the last one.
So today we're gonna do something. We're gonna break it down a little bit just because I feel like the content on my page is really centered, or most of it is centered around makeup, and of course I'm obsessed with makeup and skincare, but another part of my life is being a lash tech, and I've slowly started to put some content out there in terms of marketing your business, but I definitely want to continue to do that because it seems to be content that you guys are interested in. So today's video is all about what you need to know about lash tech training. I recently launched my training a little over 2 months ago, and I've had amazing feedback on that, but obviously we're in a lockdown right now, so I haven't been able to start yet, which sucks because I'm super excited and I worked on it so hard, but it's okay. It will be available forever, and in due time I'll be able to get back to that and really focus on the possible students or future students. So today I want to first talk about my experience with lash training. I started my journey as a lash tech, as some of you may already know, maybe about 2.5 years ago, and since then I've taken a total of 4 training courses, and to be really honest with you, I feel like the first 3 training courses that I took were a dud. I'm not going to say that I didn't learn anything from those trainings, because obviously I did, but I feel like what I expected from the trainings in terms of what was advertised is not what I got. One of the trainings that I got out of those 4 was absolutely phenomenal, and that catapulted my brand and changed my entire business for the better. So shout out to that lash trainer, she knows who she is. But I feel like the training that I didn't get what I paid for was because the feeling that I got from the trainers is that they weren't really caring too much they didn't care too much whether I succeeded or not. It was more about just, okay, she paid, I'm gonna just show her what I'm gonna show her. So I remember in those trainings I never felt like I left with what I paid for. But you know, that isn't just their fault, that's majorly my fault, because I felt like I was just jumping at, oh, this person is popular, let me go over here, oh, she's offering this at a discount, so let me go over here, and I never did my research. So we'll get back to that because that's a major thing, but let's just move on. I now want to talk about the type of trainings. So obviously there's 2 formats of trainings. You can either do online or you can do in person. There's obviously pros and cons to both. With online, I would say the pros are that you can teach yourself at your own pace, and it's a lot cheaper. And of course you have that content that you can continue to rewatch over and over again, so you pick up the content. The cons of that is that I feel like you're missing that fundamental hand-on session with someone who's skilled and has been in the field. And when you're in that type of format, you kind of naturally ask certain questions based on how the training progresses. And then another con to that is that I feel like sometimes, unless you're super self-motivated, that might be a hard format for some people to stay motivated and excited about, because really you're just sitting at home by yourself, kind of teaching yourself content. So I find a lot of people that do online tend to always want to go back and do an in-person format, so it could end up being triple or maybe double the cost you would have paid if you had just done the in-person format. So moving into the in-person format, what's really great about that is that you're gonna get that hands-on experience, that one-on-one or group training time with your lash trainer, and you're gonna have that social aspect. So if you're learning from, say for example, you're in a group setting, there's gonna be other students there who are super excited about this new journey they're about to embark on, so you're gonna make friends, you guys can kind of learn off each other. The con to that is obviously in-person format is going to be more expensive. It could be intimidating because obviously you're in a group setting most of the time, unless you choose one-on-one, which we'll talk about later. So sometimes people choose not to ask questions just because they're embarrassed, especially because if they feel like they're the one in the course that's not picking up things as fast as others. So that's just the formats. So let's move on into what I offer. Right now, I only do one-on-one training, and the reason why I do that is because when I told myself I was going to make a training course, I wanted to make sure that I made something centered around my experience, and I wanted to eliminate a lot of those roadblocks that I experienced. And I found like when I was in a group training session, those were the sessions that I didn't learn the most from, which is unfortunate. So I figured, you know what, I'd rather offer one-on-one so that people who leave with a certification from my business, they know that they are ready and they feel confident in the skills that they've paid for and what they were learning. I also feel like that's the least intimidating setting for anyone learning a new skill. So I just think that for right now, I much prefer doing one-on-one sessions. I'm open to two-on-one, which would be like 2 students. Like if 2 friends wanted to learn, obviously that's something I would do, but I'm definitely staying away from the group settings just because I feel like there's a lot of knowledge and value that can be lost when there's a trainer who's kind of stretched thin and trying to, you know, cater to the needs of people who all learn differently. Now I have 3 training courses. I offer classic training, so that's for people who might want to just learn classics to start, like me, believe it or not. So that's a 2-day course where you're just going to learn how to do classic lash extensions, applications. You'll get a manual, a full kit, and all of that. Don't think that that's like the easy way out or the better way of doing things. And I did classic applications for 8 months straight. I pretty much wanted to master isolation, and I thought just kind of learning classics was the best way to do that. So then when it was time for me to go do my volume course, I felt like I picked it up like that. But I also do offer a classic and volume course. That is a 3-day course. So for somebody who's ready to just dive right in, you're gonna learn classics, you're gonna learn hybrids, you're gonna learn volume. And of course that's gonna come with the manual, mannequin head, a kit to get you started, and a bunch of other goodies as well. And then I offer a refresher course. The refresher course is typically for someone who's taken a course before and they just need to brush up on their skills. So maybe they put down the tweezers for a couple months and they just don't feel too confident. That's what the refresher course is there for, and that's a day course. And it's gonna be like a crash course in terms of classic, volume, hybrid, etc. Now let's talk about my recommendations. So as I had hinted to before, please do your research. It's really important before you hand your money over to someone that you really make sure that this person has a vested interest in you being successful, and it's not just about give me your money. Because I definitely feel like that's what happened to me, and I've wasted over $3,000 in courses like that, and I felt like, wow, the information that they taught me is something that I already knew, or I could have learned online, or it wasn't really what was advertised. So make sure you do research on the trainer, reach out to multiple trainers, also see the vibe, see how that person is. Are they super friendly? Do they seem easy to work with? Because I've also been to trainers who were kind of cold, so it was really uncomfortable. You want somebody who's personable and you wouldn't be embarrassed to suck at something in front of. Another thing you want to do is check the requirements in your state or your province to make sure you are adhering to all regulations for being a lash tech. So if you're working at a salon, you might have to go get a health inspector to come in and make sure your area is all prepared for that. It varies, but just make sure you check the regulations for where you live and what's required for you to make sure you're always complying with government regulations. Another thing is get insurance. It's not expensive, y'all, especially for lash techs. It's super important, especially when you're kind of working, well, not kind of, you're working around someone's eyes. So it's gonna protect you, it's gonna protect your clients, and it's gonna put you at ease. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing more, nothing less. I want to do just a quick video to kind of talk about this because, sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. I bought a humidifier today because I feel like the air in my condo is super dry out of nowhere. I don't know what it is, but it's been like just weird all day. I don't know. But anyways, to book or inquire, I am going to drop the link from my website right here. I'll also link it in the description box below. If you haven't already, I'm gonna need you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you're always aware when I post new videos and content. And until next time, guys, mwah.